आप्यायन्तु ममाङ्गानि वाक्प्राणश्चक्षुश्रोत्रमथो बलमिन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि सर्वं ब्रह्मोपनिषदं माहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्यां मा ब्रह्म निराकरोत् अनिराकरणमस्त्वनिराकरणं मेस्तु तदात्मनि निरतेय उपनिषत्सु धर्मास्ते मयि सन्तु ते मयि सन्तु। ओम शांति शांति शांतिः। तम देशिकेन्द्रं परमं पवित्रं विश्वस्य पालं मधुरं यतीन्द्रं हिताय नृणां नरमूर्तिमन्तं विवेक आनंदमहं नमामि। My very dear Swami Sarvasthananda ji, the president of this Math, our very respected Swami Brahmasthananda ji, Sarvastha and Brahmastha both are present here, and our respected Kartikeyan ji and Vikram ji and Raghavendrananda ji. Mainly I will speak in English because Swamiji spoke mostly in English, but I will also explain some of the things in Hindi for you. There's only one thing which I want to emphasize, which was also mentioned by Kartikeyan ji incidentally. In one letter, Swamiji writes about the 3 essentials for success. सफलता के लिए 3 सूचनाएं, इंडिविजुअल एंड कलेक्टिव बोलते हैं, व्यक्तिगत समष्टिगत। हम सब तो सफलता चाहते हैं ना, सक्सेस स्टोरीज, क्विक वेज टू सक्सेस, 7 ways of becoming rich, ये सब है ना। स्वामी जी has given just 3 ways, उसको ध्यान में रखना, और लास्ट वक्ता होना बहुत कठिन है। क्यों जानते हो? बीच बीच में ताली बजेगी, 2 तरीका का ताली है। एक तरीका है स्वामी जी प्लीज स्टॉप, और एक तरीका है आनंद का। द फर्स्ट थिंग फॉर एनी नेशन और इंडिविजुअल टू बिकम ग्रेट एंड सक्सेसफुल, 3 things आर नेसेसरी। उसके ध्यान में रखो, नोट करके रखो। स्वामी जी के कंप्लीट वर्स में एक चिट्ठी में है। नंबर 1, कन्विक्शन एंड द पावर्स ऑफ गुडनेस। कन्विक्शन समझते हो तुम लोग? कन्विक्शन विश्वास, श्रद्धा, आस्था, किसके ऊपर? पावर्स ऑफ गुडनेस। गुडनेस, सत्शक्ति, सतता, सत्यनिष्ठा, उसके ऊपर आस्था रखना। हम लोगों का आस्था नहीं है क्या? सब समय हम रोते ही रहते हैं, सब गया, whole thing is lost, the day the nation is going to ruin। हम लोग इतने लोग बैठे हैं इधर, हम लोग के खराब लोग हैं क्या? बोलो। We are all good people, at least not so good but very good। हम लोग स्वीकार करते हैं, हम लोग सच्चे लोग तो ना। So why should we cry that so much of evil is in the world? So who is creating that evil? Swamiji analyzed it beautifully by saying that good people do not have as much conviction in the powers of goodness as wicked people have in the powers of wickedness। इसको अच्छा करके सोचो तुम। गुड पीपल कौन है? सच्चा आदमी, सच्चा लोग, सत्य लोग, सत्यनिष्ठा, बुरा काम नहीं करता है, झूठ नहीं बोलता है। गुड पीपल। गुड क्यों होता है? बिकॉज ही इज वीक टू बी बैड। समझ में आता है तुमको? तुम लोग समझते हो? तो मैं झूठ क्यों नहीं बोलता हूं? सत्यनिष्ठ होना ही फायदा है। अगर पकड़े तो मारेगा, इसलिए झूठ नहीं बोलना है। झूठ क्यों नहीं बोलूंगा? झूठ नहीं बोलूंगा इसलिए नहीं बोलूंगा। मैं सत्य में विश्वासी हूं, इसलिए मैं सत्य का बात करूंगा. I speak the truth because I believe in the power of truth. I am good because I believe in the power of goodness, not because I am afraid to be wicked. This kind of goodness, Swamiji called as the useless namby-pamby, goody-goodiness. अंग्रेजी में दो शब्द हैं, goodness, और एक शब्द है goody-goodiness. वो goody-goody होते हैं ना, बेचारा भला आदमी है ना, बेचारा भला आदमी सबसे भला भला रहता है. He is terribly afraid and therefore he is weak and good. That kind of weakness and goodness Swamiji did not want. In fact, Swamiji said, better to be wicked than be weak. अब रावण की बात हुई थी ना, Ravana was Swamiji's hero. Why? Because Ravana said, I will not run away from battle, I will fight and die in the battlefield. Swamiji was very fond of this. When Swamiji was a small boy, he read Milton's Paradise Lost. Milton महाकवि थे, उनका महाकाव्य था Paradise Lost, Old Testament के पर आधारित. He says, one person for whom I had the great respect was Satan. Satan, शैतान बोलते हैं ना, Satan. Why? He dared to disobey God. भगवान, ईश्वर, परमेश्वर, परमपिता, उन्होंने सृष्टि की, सब सृष्टि खत्म करने के बाद इंसान की सृष्टि हुई थी. He created man in his own image. ये बाइबल की कहानी है. उसके बाद सब देवताओं को बुला के, एंजल्स को बुला के बोला, इंसान को तुम लोग प्रणाम करो, मानुष को तुम लोग प्रणाम करो, उनको मानना पड़ेगा. Satan was an angel, his name was Lucifer, a luminous being. The first इनकलाब जिंदाबाद स्वर्ग में शुरू हुआ Satan. You know what he said? The first speech of Satan. Satan created an angels union and defied God. I will not obey. The first sentence he spoke, can you guess what it is? Arise, awake, or be ever fallen. स्वामी जी का arise awake जानते हो तो तुम लोग? उत्तिष्ठत जागृत, उसके अनुवाद की थी स्वामी जी ने arise awake. किससे लिया? Milton's Paradise Lost में Satan's first speech in heaven revolting against God. बहुत अद्भुत है. स्वामी जी was full of strength, weakness और strength. ये दोनों में be strong. Even wickedness you can overcome, but weakness you will never overcome. In one letter he writes, cowards will be born as insects or worms in their next life. If you are coward, if you are weak, you have no right to live. Swamiji embodied strength and power, virility. हनुमान की बात अभी हुई थी ना. और एक चरित्र स्वामी जी का बहुत पसंद था, युवकों को, युवतियों का आदर्श, हनुमान जी और नचिकेता. नचिकेता बात अवश्य सुनी होगी, तुम लोग तो सुना है ना. कठोपनिषद एक उपनिषद है, स्वामी जी का बहुत पसंद था उपनिषद. He always said, go back to the Upanishads. एक उपनिषद तुम लोगों को पढ़ना पड़ेगा. हिंदी में अनुवाद है, अंग्रेजी में अनुवाद है, बहुत भाषा में अनुवाद है. कठोपनिषद. कठोपनिषद का एक बालक था. द फर्स्ट यूथ कन्वेंशन, युवा सम्मेलन हुआ था कठोपनिषद में विद वन बॉय. उसका नाम था नचिकेता. नचिकेता के अंदर में श्रद्धा का प्रवेश हुआ था. श्रद्धा आविवेश. स्वामी जी का बहुत प्रिय शब्द था श्रद्धा. श्रद्धा का ट्रांसलेशन करना बहुत कठिन है. श्रद्धा क्या है? श्रद्धा इज फेथ, श्रद्धा इज कन्विक्शन, श्रद्धा इज डीप रूटेड फीलिंग, श्रद्धा इज आस्था, श्रद्धा इज विश्वास. Shraddha is many things, but Shraddha means you have such a deep conviction in what you believe and what you do that even if whole world goes against you, you will still believe this. That's why Swamiji said, first you should have tremendous heart to feel. Yesterday our Balasubramanianji was mentioning about this, 3 H's, the heart, head and hand. About the hand, Swamiji says, do you have that willpower? Ichha Shakti. Shraddha se aati hai Ichha Shakti. I will do what I am convinced about. हम लोग अब क्या करते हैं? Peer pressure बोलते हैं उसको. तुम लोग तो जानते हो ना? Peer pressure. हम करना नहीं चाहता तो वो मेरे बंधु लोग ऐसे करके मुझे फंसा दिया. Nobody is responsible for your life. You are responsible. Uddhared atmanatmanam natmanam avasadayed atmaiva hyatmano bandhur atmaiva rupuratmana. Gita, 6th chapter. Remember this very important verse. You are your own enemy, you are your own friend. And raise yourself by yourself and never demean yourself. Uske baad, many of the earlier speakers spoke about this. You have been born as a human being and you have good education and you have a great pedigree. Pedigree means you have a great heritage. You come in the line of the rishis. That's why Swami Vivekananda said, in the West they trace their origin to some robber barons in the forest. But we trace our origin in the rishis. Gotra kya jante ho to? Vishwamitra Gotra, Bharadwaja Gotra. These are the rishis and we claim our lineage from those rishis. I am not an ordinary person. I am great because my forefathers were great. I have several thousand years of great heritage in India. Now I may be weak, but I will not accept that I am weak. I will again rise up. Uddhared atmana atmanam. You raise yourself by yourself and never demean yourself. Don't blame others for your mistakes. Swamiji always emphasized this. In our country, the greatest disease, सबसे बड़ा रोग क्या है? समाचार पत्र में उसका नाम दिया है ब्लेम गेम. कुछ होने से ये उसको ब्लेम करेगा, वो उसके ब्लेम करेगा, वो उसको ब्लेम करेगा. Who is to blame? We don't know. Swamiji said, take the responsibility on your own shoulders and know that you are the creator of your own destiny. No one but me to blame. For all the difficulties which I am facing, I am to blame. My karma, past karma, is giving me these difficulties. I will change my life in such a way, the present karma, I will make my life glorious. We have come into the world to make our lives glorious. Lives of great men all remind us we can make our lives sublime and departing leave behind us footprints on the sands of time. Famous poem by Longfellow. Lives of great men all remind us, repeatedly they are telling us. They are inspiring us constantly. Swami Vivekananda said, I shall throw away this body like a worn-out garment, but I shall not cease to work. I will inspire men everywhere until the world shall know that it is one with God. He is still living and constantly inspiring us. One thing he could not tolerate was weakness. This namby-pamby, goody-goody life is absolutely useless. Swamiji would not like it. Meghnadvad Kavya, the famous Bengali Mahakavya by Michael Madhusudan Dutt, Swamiji used to read it out with so much of fervor. And anybody who is strong, Swamiji is always very, very happy. So conviction in the powers of goodness. Be convinced. You know the story of 9/11? The famous 9/11 incident, uske bare mein sab samay tumre bolte rehte hain. You know how many people were there in the hijacking scene? 2 or 3 people were there who were hijacking with a plastic knife. That is what is reported. What were the 200 people doing there? प्लेन में थे 200 लोग. 2 लोग प्लास्टिक नाइफ लेके हाईजैक करने के साहस कैसा मिला उनको? You know what is the secret? They were not afraid to die. But these 200 people are so much afraid to die, but they died finally. Swamiji said, you can go even to the point of death if you have that conviction. If 4 people have overpowered them, that situation could have been saved. So good people, goody people, namby-pamby people without conviction in the power of goodness. Those two people who hijacked, they had full conviction in the power of wickedness. Wickedness के ऊपर इतनी आस्था थी उनका, जितनी आस्था goodness के ऊपर में good लोग का नहीं था. So this you should always remember, be good because you are convinced about goodness. हरिश्चंद्र का कहानी तुम लोग जानते हो तो? He was convinced about truth. Even if he was cut to pieces. How much of torture Vishwamitra gave him? प्रहलाद की कहानी तुम लोग जानते हो. ये तो पौराणिक कहानी है. But the lesson and the ideal behind it. Prahalad only once said, Om Namo Hiranyaya. Once you said everything will be pardoned. He said no. Om Namo Narayana. Again torture, again torture. But he said no. For my conviction I will even face death. I will face torture. So that's why Swamiji said, conviction and the power of goodness. As much as if wicked people with conviction in the power of wickedness can achieve so much harm, how much good people can achieve by having conviction in the power of goodness. The number of good people in the world is huge. But the number of good people having conviction in the power of goodness is very, very small. Number of wicked people is very small. But the number of wicked people having conviction in the power of wickedness is 100%. Secondly, good people can never organize. सत शक्ति का संगठन कभी नहीं हो सकता. If two good people come, there will be immediately quarrel. You are seeing in our country, many good people are coming together. Anti-corruption movement, how to save India. So many groups are coming together. After some time, wicked people know they will not be able to work together. But wicked people gang up. उसको संगठन नहीं बोलते, गैंग बोलते. गैंग जानते हो तुम लोग? विकेट लोग का गैंग होता, रैगिंग का. 4 boys or girls can rag 40 people. But what were the 40 people doing there? If you tell somebody, come on, anti-ragging के लिए हम लोग कुछ करेंगे, कोई नहीं आएगा. If you tell people, come on, let us go and rag him, 10 people will come with you. For wickedness, immediately you can get people who gang up. For goodness, organization is not easy. That's why Swami Vivekananda said, goodness, having conviction in the power of goodness and organization. सत शक्ति, उसके साथ साहस, उसके साथ संगठन. सतता, साहस और संगठन. Ramakrishna mission is an experiment which Swamiji started to have these three. Good people having conviction in the power of goodness, can they come together for the good of the world unselfishly? For more than 100 years successfully has done that. That number is increasing. All of you sitting here, 4,000, 5,000 youths. All of you want an umbrella under which you can manifest your goodness, manifest your power in the conviction of goodness, and be organized under the feet of Swami Vivekananda. So what we lack are leaders who can immediately organize people with goodness, conviction in the powers of goodness, and coming together for a common cause unselfishly. The second thing Swamiji said, absence of jealousy and suspicion. Swamiji said, jealousy is the bane of a slavish country. We have been slaves for more than 1,000 years. Irsha Parayan and Samshayatma. Nobody will believe anybody. Good people, without conviction in the powers of goodness, will always suspect everybody. Suspicion and jealousy. First, we should remove these two great evils from our national lifeblood. Believe people, have faith in the goodness of people, and have no jealousy. There is an interesting story of a crab. You know, what are crabs? Small insects? Kekada. It seems there is a big crab exhibition from various countries. Chinese crab, then Japanese crab, then American crab, Korean crab, so many baskets were going, but only in the Indian basket there was no lid. It was not covered. Somebody said, how is it they may escape? No, sir. With a Bharati kekada hai, nobody will be able to rise up. एक ऊपर जाने से और उसके नीचे खींच लेगा. That is one greatness about Indians, jealousy, jealousy, jealousy and suspicion. Swamiji found out. Absence of jealousy and suspicion, the second one. And the third one is helping those who are trying to be good and trying to do good. If anybody is trying to do something good, if anybody is trying to say something good, if anybody is trying to live a life of goodness and nobleness, try to help him as much as possible. If you have these three, Swamiji said, you will achieve very, very great things. If you have goodness in your heart, three important things. You have talked about so much. Before you go, I'll just summarize in 3 words. Purity, unselfishness, and truth. These 3 somehow you stick. It is not easy, but stick to it 6 months. You try as much as possible. You will find a tremendous power within you. In your presence, nobody will say anything which is bad. You will see some boys and girls, उसके सामने कुछ बोलने से, hey, तुम जाओ तो, तुम्हारे सामने ये सब बात नहीं हो सकती है. They will be afraid of using a slang word. Another important thing, my boys and girls, all of you are so dear to us because you have come in the name of Swamiji. Watch your language. Even in Bengal, where I've spent about 35 years in the hostel and the college, etc., nowadays boys use such flippant, low language, slang words. These words are not for you people. You are come from a great pedigree of Swami Vivekananda. There is an interesting story in Swami Ranganathanji's life. He has told about it. When he was a small boy in school, he learned some slang language and come because he did not know the meaning also. Then his mother scolded him. Never use any slang language. A jikhwa hai Saraswati ka pithasthan. This tongue is the holy abode of Saraswati. Don't defile it by using slang language. Till the end of his life, he remembered this. This is one appeal to you, all of you. Nowadays, because of media, because of cinema, and because of peer influence, so loosely we use. We don't even mean it actually, but never use it. Vak Shuddhi. The power of word is tremendous. One word can simply set the whole world on fire. That's why it is said, Vak is considered Agni Devata. Agni Devata is supposed to be sitting inside your body as Vak. The power of Vak is something tremendous. The power of words, you should remember that one word can heal somebody or kill somebody else. So try to heal as much as possible. The world is so fragmented, so full of sorrow. One good word, one sweet word can heal so many hearts. That is why Swamiji said, if you always live a life of purity and truthfulness and unselfishness, so much of power will come to you and you will also feel great fulfillment. Swamiji writes to a prince, "Oh prince, this life is short. The vanities of the world are transient, but they alone live who live for others. The rest are more dead than alive." वेदांत में एक धारणा है जीवन मुक्त, शरीर में रहता है फिर भी मुक्त है. Swamiji has introduced new concept, जीवन मृत. शरीर में रहता है but he is also dead. Why? Because he is living a life of selfishness. Any life of self-centeredness, selfishness, I, my body, my wife, my children, my bank balance, my degree, how to protect me, that is a life of slow death. Expand. Swamiji said, expansion is life, all contraction is death. Love is the only way to expand. So he said, don't live for your own sake, live for the sake of others. And lastly, Indriya Sanyama, that has been spoken about, purity. Purity is very simple. All your senses should be under your control. You should be the master of senses and not the senses your master, that's all. We talk about freedom, swadhinata, Are we Swadhin? We are slaves of our senses. My eyes want to see this picture, I go run there. My ears want to hear this music, I run there. My skin wants to have the pleasure of touch, I go after it. And my tongue wants to have all kinds of tastes, I am simply tempted. And my nose wants to have all kinds of beautiful smells, and I am tempted by it. I am the slave of my 5 senses, and I call myself as the master, as I call myself free. We are not free. Swamiji said, therefore, religion is freedom from the senses. I should be a master and not a slave. Swami Ramakrishna Order ji or Raghavendran ji spoke about him. May I get a beautiful definition. Politics is freedom of the senses. Religion is freedom from the senses. If you give your senses free rein, then you are a great politician. If you control your senses and become a master of your senses, then you become a religious person. Control yourself. I cannot be. Sometimes I feel so uneasy. How can anybody control you? I want to control my senses. I am the master of the whole thing, for which my mind and body should obey me. Just 1 or 2 incidents I will say and stop. Swamiji's own life. Swamiji is very ill at Belur Math. Within a few months he will pass away. At that time, Kaviraj, Ayurvedic physician, gave him a prescription. Swamiji, you should not drink water for 21 days. 21 days not to drink water is not easy. Swamiji, it was so hot, he used to take so much of water. Some fruit juice I will give you, but please don't take water. Swamiji said, do you really mean it? Then he told his mind and body, pani mat pena. Instruction to the body, just like computer programming. This body and mind should be completely programmed, that's all. He forgot. After 2 days when he was washing his mouth, unconsciously 1 or 2 particles of water was going in, and the body, the muscles contracted and the water was thrown out. Swamiji said, what has happened? Then he remembered, oh, I have told my body not to drink water. Body is faithfully obeying, that's all. And he said, my body and mind are my slaves. The cowboy story, it was narrated by our Nivedita ji in the morning. The cowboys were the jean pants which we wear are the cowboy culture which they have given up, but we have picked up. Third world, whatever they throw, first world and second world they throw away, we pick them up as a great culture. They were great horse riders and gunsmen. They used to shoot. Very carefully they will shoot. That story she was telling about, there is another interesting story. The cowboys challenged Swamiji, you are talking about the Atman, the God and the eternal soul and all that. And you say fearlessness, I will test you, whether you are really fearless. They created a podium, an old broken bucket was overturned. Swamiji said, sit there, stand there. They will shoot at Swamiji and the bullets will simply pass by the ears. Do you understand what I am saying? The bullets will just pass by the ears, and if Swamiji slightly out of fear shakes his head, his ears will go. For 1 hour you have to speak on fearlessness and Vedanta and Atman and God, and they will keep shooting. Swamiji stood there, started speaking, on both ears bullets were passing. Swamiji, absolutely unperturbed, stood, talked for 1 hour. Afterwards, they did not know what to do. They took Swamiji on their shoulders. He is our Guru, he is our Guru. And they went round and round. What was the secret? Secret is very simple. Swamiji told his mind and body, don't worry about what is happening, concentrate on the... Swamiji said, I did not even hear the sound at all. It is possible. Swamiji demonstrated it is possible not only by Swamiji, but you and me. What we normally do is, oh, Swamiji itna mahan the, uske liye ho sakta, hum log kya hoga? We are ordinary people. What should we do? Put Swamiji, put some flowers, Jai Swamiji Maharaj Ji ki Jai, finished. This is what Swamiji hated. Swamiji said, don't worship me, follow me. India में worship करना बहुत आसान है हम लोगों का. There is an interesting story of a disciple, एक शिष्य था. और गुरु के पास गया तो गुरु जी मैं सेवा करना चाहता हूँ, क्या करना है मुझे? तो बहुत सारा सेवा है, अच्छा ठीक है, इसको तुम सफाई करो। गुरु जी आपका पवित्र चिन्ह इधर है, ये अपवित्र शरीर लेके मैं कैसे उसकी सफाई करूंगा, मैं कभी नहीं कर सकता। He did not do it. Guruji then said, bring me some water. With his unholy hands, how can you bring water for your holy self? He did not bring water. Then Guruji said, I am feeling very hot, please fan me. Guruji, with my unholy hands, how can I fan you? Then Guruji himself took the fan and started fanning himself. Shishya went behind and stood like this. अरे क्या करते हो इधर? गुरुजी आपका पवित्र शरीर का स्पर्श जिसकी हवा में हुई थी, उसका प्रसादी हवा में तोड़ा लेता हूँ। In India, we are very famous for only worshipping. स्वामी विवेकानंद इतना महान थे, हम लोग कह सकते हैं, कभी नहीं कर सकते हैं, जय विवेकानंद जी की जय, finished. I asked somebody, गीता पढ़ा है? Oh, Swami ji, Gita is such a holy book, so I keep it there every day, put some flowers, but I never open it. क्यों? इतना पवित्र है, उसको खोल के पढ़ूं कैसे? इतना पवित्र है, उसको खोलना मत, उसका रख दो, उसको पूजा करते रहो. Swami ji said, if somebody shows arati before me and worships me, I will become a ghost and break his neck. Don't worship me, but follow me. We are making Swamiji a kind of an icon. The danger is coming. Swamiji is everywhere. Swamiji is murti. Swamiji is this. Swamiji is picture. But Swamiji did not want to be in the picture and the icon. He wants to be in our hearts. हृदय में वास करके इधर से अनुप्रेरणा बना के एक एक छोटी छोटी स्वामीजी बनना है. Swami Ramakrishna said, the ideal of the Ramakrishna mission is to produce a Ramakrishna. The ideal which Swamiji wanted, hundreds of thousands of small Vivekananda should proceed. We may not be like him, but we can be a spark of Vivekananda fire. Swami Shivananda ji, Mahapurush Maharaj once said, look at his picture. He was a roaring fire. Try to become a spark of the Vivekananda fire. This is one message with which I take leave of you. All of you have come so far away in the name of Swami Vivekananda. Try to become a spark of the Vivekananda fire. Thank you.